everybody, and welcome to the Ludicrous Fuck. I'm leaving that in. I am leaving that in. Welcome to the Ludicrous League Podcast, the show where people talk ponies and ponies are all that matter. I am Cavatina, and today we are reviewing Season 8, Episode 3, The Mod Couple. I think that's what it was called. I also can't remember.
Yes, that is.
Okay, good. Alright, got it. Today, I am here. I am here once again with the usual crew. We have Winter Storm, say hello.
Hey, yo.
And Lorah.
That is the best thing that has ever happened today. Hello.
That was even better than the first. Even better than when I forgot my intro for the first time. Okay, so today's. Sorry, go ahead.
You're good.
Alright, well, I'll just keep going then. So, like I said, today we're reviewing The Mod Couple. I don't know how to feel about this episode, honestly. I honestly didn't like it that much, but we'll get to that. So, for those that are new to this, the way this works... Sadness. Tears were shed. So how this is going to work, for those that are new to this, is that we're going to each go around and say 2 things that we liked, and then 2 things we disliked, general thoughts at the end, and give a final rating out of 10. So, we go in alphabetical order of our usernames, so that means I will go first. I didn't plan that, I swear. That's just how it turned out.
Yep.
I promise I'm not an egomaniac. I don't know what you're talking about. So what did I like about this episode? I like the moral a lot. I like the idea, like, just because you don't like somebody or, like, understand somebody doesn't mean that nobody else does, especially your friends. That's, like, a good... At least that's what I took away from that. You know, like, you might not, like, really feel like you connect with somebody, and you may not really like them, but that doesn't mean that none of your friends do, or that nobody else does, your family. Someone that's special to somebody, or not special to you, could be special to somebody else, and I like that idea. I like that concept. Because it makes sense. It's logical, you know? Like, not everybody gets along with everybody. That's just how life is. So...
Yeah.
Especially for the show that's constantly pushing, like, friends. They finally had this time where it's like...
I was literally about to say that.
Nah, not always. Not always. And so, you know, that... I felt like that was a more, like, realistic... So, not that none of the morals in this show are realistic, because they're all really good morals, but this one's, like, really, like, this is life, deal with it. You know, like, a really harsh way of going about it, though, but, like, it's there. Like, this is real life. It's not all about friendship, ponies, magic, and rainbows. Which I think was good.
No matter how you wish it was.
It'd be nice if we lived in a utopian society. What else did I like? I liked Pinky's sisters in this. Specifically Limestone Pie, because last time we saw her, she kind of was like that grumpy old freaking... Like, she didn't seem very nice and friendly, and this kind of really pushed the sisterly thing with her and Pinky and Marble and everything, because she gave the moral, she gave the insight to Pinky, which obviously I didn't expect Marble to do that, because she's, like, the silent one that never really talks, but have Limestone do it, I really liked that, because, you know, she kind of comes off in the show as aggressive and, like, not really a friend type, but then she just belted out this awesome moral like that, and I'm like, wow, okay, I totally looked at you the wrong way the first time I saw you. You know your friendship stuff. I mean, she has sisters, so she's probably got some of that, you know, love and stuff inside her, and, you know, that came out very weird. That was the weirdest thing I ever said. You know what I mean? She has that kind of, you know... She has like experience with that kind of relationship stuff. Like, she has good family. She's probably never had like a boyfriend, but she does have like that family connection, so she knows about this stuff. She's not just a grumpy old bitch face all the time. She actually gave a really good bit of insight for Pinky, which I really like that. I like that she did that. And the writers made her do that. That was good. Good on you guys.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, now we're moving on. Wait, who was next? I think it was Ed. Yes.
Yeah.
No, I will bleep that out.
Thank you.
I will remember where that is and I will bleep it out.
Two things that I liked about this episode. The first one would definitely be how I'm gonna get these two names mixed up between the two sisters. I think it was Limestone who was like jealous. Who said I was jealous?
Yeah, that was Limestone. Limestone was the grumpy one, and Marble was like the Fluttershy one.
Yeah, I was gonna actually say Marble reminds me a lot about Fluttershy way early on in the first season.
Mm-hmm. I can just remember like her first meeting Twilight. That was pretty much how she was. She couldn't words at all.
Yeah. But the second thing I liked it was especially at the end where she decided, okay, this isn't something I like doing, but if it makes especially for like Pinky, she wanted to throw a surprise party. But when she found out Maud didn't like it and came to terms with, okay, this has got to be something from Maud, not something from me.
Yeah.
I liked that ending. That ending was good.
I'll have a gripe
I'm
about
done.
Pinky later on, but we'll get to that. So that was two things. Alright, so now we'll move on to Winter.
Oh boy. This episode is a little tricky to find two things that I liked. I mean, you guys pretty much covered all the likable things.
Yeah, this episode is not very great, so I can see why you are struggling with that. I had to try, honestly, a
I
little
will
bit.
say, hate me for this, but I actually did like Mudbriar. Because he's always exact and everything. Yeah, I just find it a hilarious turn of events because he's the exact opposite of Pinky, even more so than Maud.
Oh, yeah.
I did not. I'm sure, like, all of the fandom probably hates this guy. I don't hate him, but I don't like him. And I'll get to that.
I was just like, I don't hate him, but I can see why Pinkie Pie was really annoyed with him.
She wasn't used to that kind of... And, like, Maud isn't isn't exactly like Mudbriar, and she's family, so probably Pinky might be a little bit biased to that. But she's not like... Maud and Mudbriar are not exactly the same. Like, the way... I don't know. I'll talk about that when we get to the cons, but, if you like Mudbriar, he is very, like, matter-of-fact about things.
Yeah.
He's very blunt about it, but Mother of God, he ruined the word technically for me. Like, that's now permanently out of my goddamn dictionary because of this fucker. So that's great. Thanks, dude. Appreciate it.
No. He just demonstrated how to use the word technically just to annoy somebody.
There you go. Just to be a dick. Anyways, so what was the other thing you liked? If there is anything, since you said you didn't have a lot.
Okay.
It's okay if you don't know
one
exactly
other thing
to. But...
I did like. And that's just how Marble Pie initially glared at their sister for interrupting Pinky.
I saw that. It was really briefly, and I was like, that was so... She had way more, like, angry expressions than in the first time we met her. Because, like, in the... I forget what episode it was. It was, like, the marbles and pie... Or, what was it? The apples and pies or something? She was, like... Shy happiness was, like, fright. Like, genuinely being scared. But this time we got more of the aggressive kind of facial expressions from her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which shows, when it comes to her She's willing to stick up.
Oh yeah.
She has some anger. She's got a breaking point. Mwahahaha. I wonder what that could be. All right, so I think that's it for pros. So we'll move on to cons.
This is gonna go. This is gonna go quick.
This is going quick. Okay, first and foremost, I didn't like the beginning with Maud, because she said, like, oh yeah, we'll hang out tomorrow, Pinky, sure. And then, like, she made, like, a promise that she couldn't keep. Because they were saying at the beginning of the episode, like, Maud was always going off with Mudbriar, and she's like, sorry about that, sure, okay, we'll do tomorrow morning. And she didn't do tomorrow morning. Like, girl, at least let her know first, you know? Like, don't make the promise, like, oh, yeah, we can hang out tomorrow, and then not do it.
I just have one comment to make about that. It literally sounds like one of my relatives who would make a promise and then all of a sudden will drop out at the last second.
My brother had friends like that.
I'm not going to say anything because that strikes really close to home on my end.
It's like, I'm sure there was probably, like, an explanation that I missed, like, afterwards, but, like, even then, you don't have an excuse to not update her on that. Like, I'm sure there was a way for her to be like, hey, sorry, gonna have to cancel or something, but she didn't do that. She didn't do it for any of the times that this happened. I'm like, well, what's stopping you? Like, why didn't you, like, why didn't you give her the update? Just as it was happening, instead of way after the fact, and keeping her waiting, and making her look all over the damn place for you, might I add. You know how much of a waste of time that probably... Exactly, that was like a waste of...
That was hilarious.
That was probably a waste of time on her part. I mean, it's Pinky, she probably doesn't care. But, like, it's still a waste of somebody's time to worry that much if you just... Instead of you could have just been like, lol, sorry, bye, I gotta do stuff. But she didn't, you know, it just bothered me that she wasn't communicating well with Pinky on that kind of thing, of, like, canceling or something.
It's like, then again, what was the point? Pinky wouldn't even let her fully speak in the first place.
Well, sometimes she got to get all her words out. Other times, like, she wasn't great. But she doesn't always completely interrupt her sentences every single time. She does, like, let her speak.
But when it gets to something important she wants to say, input's Pinky.
Yeah, that's true, actually. I'm sure that she's got some kind of patience or something. Some kind of... Because if she didn't, that would be... I would like Pinky even less for that, if that was the case.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we'll move on to my other con. I'm conflicted on whose side to be on throughout this, because Mudbriar was kind of rude at the beginning. Like later on, he obviously was just meant to be a sign of kind of like a comedic thing, or like a, hey, this guy's really technical, blunt, and to the point. But at the beginning of the episode, like in the cake shop or whatever it was, oh my god, that was a terrible first introduction for him, because he immediately came off as a jerk. Like, alright, I'm talking to this girl right before it closes, even though I know that you're a customer and you want to get stuff. Too bad, though, I'm just gonna keep... Like, he didn't even talk to her, he just sat there, and then when they closed, and basically didn't let Pinky get what she needed to get, which to me came off as kind of disrespectful. Like, that was not cool, dude.
That's where I love seeing some of the Insta Karma compilations when people are doing that. I love seeing
people being dicks and then like, meteor! Lol. Like, yeah.
But it's just like, it's some way. It was just like, okay, please let's have some Insta Karma with this guy. He's just a jerk.
Yeah, but like that whole introduction with Mudbriar left me confused by his behavior and annoyed by his behavior. Because, like, later on, like, obviously throughout the episode, he turned out to just be more of, like, a blunt technical guy. But in the very beginning, he got off on the wrong foot with me, just like he did with Pinky. I really didn't like the fact that he, like, wasted her, like, time and her ability to have resources from this person, from this store clerk or whatever. Like, it bothered me that he was, that he was willingly, like, I don't know if he really meant to do that on purpose or not, or if that was just how he was. I don't really know. All I know is I didn't like that. I thought that was kind of rude for what it was.
Move.
Yeah. I mean, I'd get his first comment when he was like, technically, it's not your turn. Like, fair enough, right? She probably cut. But, like, he basically had the store close and go out to lunch before Pinky could even get service. Like, dude, really? Come on. And he probably knew that he did that. Jeez, it bothered me. Anyway, and Pinky, to continue on this point, Pinky, I'm like, fair enough, I'm kind of biased for this because Pinky's, like, my least favorite of the main six anyway, but, like, I didn't like how she kind of jumped to conclusions. Like, she's done that before in previous seasons, but I feel like at this point she would be a little bit better to not just assume stuff since she's done it a lot in previous episodes, but she was, like, way close-minded and overprotective of Maud and just off the rails, I felt. Which, yeah, again, she's done that before, but I feel like at this late in the game, she probably would, like, at least learn a little bit from that, but she was like, oh no, Maud is, like, she loves Mudbriar more than me, I'm gonna cry again. Like, I just, like, I don't know, I felt like she was a little bit too, I mean, this is speaking for Pinky, who's always, like, really dramatic and stuff, but, like, I just didn't like her in this particular instance where she was, like, jumping to these conclusions about Maud and Mudbriar and like, obviously the lesson was that she was supposed to, like, you know, regardless of how she feels for Mudbriar, if he makes Maud happy, that's all that matters. But, like, just her general behavior throughout this didn't really sit well with me. Despite it being how Pinky, like, she's Pinky, you know, we normally don't question her that much. Because she just is bouncy, always doing these things, and being crazy, but, like, in this episode, this late, in Season 8, I felt like she would have been better than that at this point. So it kind of put me on edge and, like, put me the wrong way or something. Whatever the phrase is, I can't remember what it's called. Meh. I don't know. This is just my gripes. Characters are kind of meh throughout all this. Except for Maud. Maud was still cool. Maud was okay. And Limestone was great, too. So yeah, those are my gripes. So, N, you are next.
So, one of the main gripes for me with this was Pinky just completely ran off crying. This is like,
Oh gosh, yeah.
Cheerful character in the whole series, and they just started legitimately crying. I was just like, oh, that just probably broke her heart into a whole bunch of pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, I was just like, oh boy, how's this gonna end?
Oops, I was wondering about that too, how that was gonna play out between them. Particularly Pinky and Maud more than Pinky and Mudbriar. Because their relationship wasn't strong to begin with, but, like, Pinky and Maud are sisters, and they love each other to pieces. To have Pinky run off in tears like that probably really upset Maud.
In some ways, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, haven't we seen Pinky in this way before, like with... What was that episode called? It was the one with cheese sandwich. I don't remember what it was, but it was the one with cheese.
God.
Pinky Pride.
That was a headache.
Pinky Pride, I think, is what it was called. Like, she kind of learned this a little bit already with the jealousy thing, and, like, because Cheese Sandwich showed up, and fair enough, though, she understood Cheese Sandwich more than Mudbriar, but, like, she still had to deal with people enjoying someone else's company more than hers. So that was kind of when she got that little taste of that lesson and realized that. You'd think she would have applied a little bit of that same logic here. But then again, it's Pinky who needs logic. But you get what I mean, right? Like, she technically learned this partially already. So, like, why did she go run off crying now this late in the game? It just didn't make sense to me.
The other times, it was her friends. This time, it was her closest sister. And when it becomes family, it's much more devastating.
Yeah.
That's true.
And you have to remember, people will fall into the same thing even though they've gone through it already.
That's true.
I'm guilty of this myself.
That's a good point, actually. And usually it takes more than one failure to learn your lessons on that regard. That's the same logic we apply for Fluttershy. You know, she's learned that. People keep making the argument, she's learned the same thing over and over again, she hasn't changed, what the heck? No, she has. It just takes longer for some people to have it stick, especially if it's a big problem with your character. To be like for Fluttershy's case, like being such a social recluse and having a struggle with being, dealing with social interaction. Like, you can't learn that overnight in one go. You have to practice that. So it makes sense for her why she took so long and it's still taking a while to get there. So I guess that same logic can be applied here in this situation. Alright, well, so that was one, I think. What was your other... What was that, two? I don't know anymore.
Basically, this was...
Excuse me.
But mostly the fact of how... I already forgot what his name was.
Mudbriar? I think that was his name.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Stickpone.
It was something Briar.
Stickpone. We'll just call him Stickpone. Everybody knows that.
Yep.
Boy, I don't know. He reminds me also of a family member that is currently living with me. I bet you two can guess who.
Probably.
But it's just, it was when we first met him, and he was taking forever just to say goodbye. That was just like, I know someone exactly like that. Or at least two people. One is definitely more annoying in that aspect.
Oh, yeah.
Just like, that was the first thing that I disliked about him. It was like, he was being slow. Yes, Maud was slow, but she wasn't that slow. I don't think she was anywhere near that slow. I was just like, hurry up, dude.
Mm-hmm.
This is exactly when I hate this is one of the exact situations that I hate when somebody says, "Flip steady win the race," and that sergeant says, "No, not."
Alright, so I think that was two for you. So we'll move on to Winter. Unless you had other stuff to add. Are you good? Okay. Winter, your turn.
Oh, jeez. The one thing that I have to gripe the most about is hate on me for this if you want, the stick/rock show thing.
I'm trying to remember what exactly happened in that regard.
Basically, Milo was saying it was a rock show, but my brother specified technically that it was a petrified wood show, so therefore it was technically a stick show.
It was when they were making out how they met.
That logic seems kind of flawed, to be honest. Petrified wood, doesn't that basically become, not exactly rock, but like it gets replaced by rock like minerals and stuff that's like usually in rocks, and like the wood loses
Maud explained it.
Yeah, she did explain it, I think. I would have sided with Maud,
She
to be
did.
honest. I feel like that was more of a rock show, personally.
Yeah, I would say.
Can we...
Listening to that whole thing, I'm just like, okay, this is starting to get
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say something, but it might be here your other con, so we'll get to that first before I commentate.
Oh, yeah. And... Ooh. No, you guys pretty much covered it.
Like, I'm a little more conflicted on the whole stick abuse thing, because, like, we've seen the whole boulder thing with Maud, and that, I mean, you know, a lot of people are like, that's cute, it's a rock, but this dude made it seem bad. He kind of just took that joy and crushed it with stick abuse.
Creepy.
He kind of ruined it for me, to be honest. You know, like, we all loved it when it was Maud. Like, it's a little boulder, it's cute. And he's like, stick abuse, here's my pet stick. Like, dude, now you made me think it's a mental illness. You suck. You ruin everything. Just thought I would add that point in. I wasn't sure I was on board with that one either. I had conflicting feelings on that, too. Okay, so I think that covers pros and cons, so we'll do general thoughts if there are any. Anybody have any little pieces we want to throw in?
Huh?
Not that I can think of at the moment.
I do consider it very interesting how Mudbrower came to be in the show. If I remember correctly, he was actually someone's OC.
Really?
Really?
Or at least someone very similar.
Some brony sent a message, like an email to Hasbro, like, I want to be shipped with Maud. Done. I want to be in an OTP ship with Maud. Alright, we got you covered, boy. We got you. There you go, plaster that in, make an episode of that. That would be the best backstory for an episode ever. Or like a member of the staff was like, I want to be shipped with Maud. Maud's great. Maud's cute. Okay, we'll do that, troll. There's like a troll episode for that guy that wanted to be shipped with Maud and the staff. That would be fun. That would be hilarious if that was the backstory behind this episode.
That would be.
I would feel so bad for
I'd feel bad for the
Why
dude,
is that
yeah. You'd be like, well, shit.
I'd be like, why? Why did you do this?
Why did you do this to me?
Yeah.
Did
But
I'm trying to think if I had anything.
Not-
I don't think I did.
No.
I'm good here.
Okay, so now we'll finish this. This was a quick-ass podcast. Jeez, we blew through this. So the general ratings now out of 10. Personally, I would give it a 6. I was more annoyed by this than I was pleased. There were some good things, particularly Pinky Sisters and the Boral and stuff. Oh, and by the way, one more general thing before I, shut up. I like the new opening. I didn't mention this in the first podcast, but I like the new opening. They finally made a new opening. And it's glamorous.
Really?
Yes, they
That's
did.
right.
I always skipped the freaking opening, but now I've seen the actual opening. I'm like, yes, they made a new one! And it's so pretty! Ah! It was great. I loved it. But yeah, 6 out of 10, just because it wasn't great for me. I was not really super into it or enjoying it. There were some good things, so I'm gonna give it a modest 6, but instead of anything lower. But it was just meh. I wasn't really into it. So, N.
Winter, you go ahead and do it.
No,
Do
never,
yours first.
never
So,
mind.
I mean, I'm still trying to decide on what my rating is.
Alright, go ahead, Winter.
Mhm.
8 out of 10.
I'm pretty neutral about this one, so. Ooh. I would have to say probably a 3 out of 10 because it didn't really swing me either way, or.
3 out of 10. Whoa. Ooh.
Honestly, I'd have to be around. I'm gonna have to go with maybe 3.5 because I'm in between the 3 and the 4. It just didn't capture me enough. It's just like, yeah, it was cute. It was relatable family events, but for everybody else, it just didn't catch me enough.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, geez, I look modest compared to you guys, so a 6 out of 10. I rarely give under 5s unless it's like really, really like horrible, like really annoyed me, like barely anything good about it. Those are usually the 5s and under, for me at least.
It's just like, especially one of the movies for me. Well, like for the movie Box Patrol, I saw that one time. I still hate it to this day.
What was
Box Trolls.
Box Trolls. I don't think I've seen that.
Oh, God.
That was Cavatina. It's bad. It was so cringy, and my entire family watched it with me. Just once it ended, we're all like, "What the heck was that?"
Oh boy.
We didn't even know what to make with it. It was bad.
I
No,
will
but
make
for a movie like that one, I would give a 0 rating. I wouldn't even give it a 1. I'd give it a 0. If not a negative 50, it was that bad.
Wow. Negative 11 out of 4. Okay. Well, I guess that wraps it up for this podcast. Tune in next time when we talk about episode 4. Don't know what that's gonna be yet. Maybe we'll bring Dibs back. For those that saw the movie podcast, you know who she is. She's great.
Yeah.
She's sick today, so she wasn't able to join us, but hopefully
She has been sick the past couple of days.
hopefully she'll join us next time, for whatever episode 4 is gonna be. Hopefully not as shit. Sorry, Mod Compo, you're cute, but I didn't like you, my brother. Alright, so join us next time when we talk about that, and you all have a lovely evening, or day, or whatever it is where you are, and we will see you all next time. Boy, boy.
Bye.